I was listening to my homies. They were all talking about their gangs. I have a lot of stories to tell. I know I live these stories. I know how it feels. Growing up, I was listening to my homies. They were talking about the gangs. Every single one of them were amazing stories. Standing on that street corner while steady drinking bangs. How to kill my homie cause he be snitching. He dead, so I call the corona. Nobody sees me sneaking a bitchin'. I got a lot of stories to tell. I jumped up in the gang. Diamonds on my neck glow. This girl can really blow. My homies call me insane only cause the chicks give me brain. I'll be flexing on you hoes. Girls be bending over, touching their toes. Their pussies be dripping. Got a lot of stories to tell. I live these stories so I know how it feels. I got a lot of stories to tell. My girl's pussies always be dripping and it's so easy to side in, so I ain't really tripping. You heard that story? Well, I got a lot more stories to tell. Whenever I walk with my niece, I always carry a piece. People want her dead. I'll kill anyone who harms her. They'll be turned into a spread. She always be wearing expensive furs, only furs I can buy. I caught her in bed with another girl. That's when I found out she's bi. Man, I got a lot of stories to tell. Well, now I'm getting into deep shit. Y'all really ain't ready for this. I was about 13 when I found meth. Started fucking a girl named Beth only cause she gave me drugs. Could always find me with her only cause she was my plug. Ended up killing her so I could start selling her shit. I shot her up with 15 slugs. Was selling nothing but semi-automatics. Then I realized I was an addict. Eventually met a girl. Her smile was radiant like the sun. 5 months later I found out we were having a son. I couldn't pay for the doctor's visit, so I went and robbed a drug dealer. She heard about what I was doing, came back and she was gone. Couldn't handle how I felt. I put a Glock 17 on my head. She came out of the bathroom and took the gun from me that night. I heard several shots outside. I heard a car speed off. I walked outside, saw my girl laying on the ground, covered in her blood. I got 2 more stories to tell. I got a lot of stories to tell. These stories, I've lived it. I know how it feels. A week went by and I couldn't get her out of my head. She always smelled like the ocean. I was filled with a lot of emotions. It took me 5 years to get clean. I haven't sipped on any lean. Now I'm sober, warming up. I'm never getting colder. Used to be a shooter, got clean. Now I'm a hooper. I told you I had stories to tell, but let's go back even more. Growing up, I was bullied and abused. Didn't know how to tell my parents. I couldn't cause I was confused. Nobody noticed me at school. I felt like I was transparent. Learned to stand up for myself and fight. A lot of people didn't fuck with me once I showed my might. Every night I pray to God to have some wisdom to navigate life's scheme. Hold on, I got some more stories to tell. I went and bought meth, shot myself up in OD. I woke up 4 days later and was off to treatment. I have stories to tell, and now I'm up in the Golden State. I'm able to put food on my plate. Up here in sober living, got homies who always vibing. I don't smoke that green. I'm gonna stay clean. I told you I had a lot of stories to tell.